JIA Interceptor R review. Jensen International Automotive, creator of the GMLS3 V8-powered Interceptor R, a version of which we drove in our modernized classics feature at Goodwood, and the fabulously decadent Chieftain Range Rover. Unlike that car, the modernization of which was largely outsourced, the 180,000 pounds Interceptor R supercharged you see here, the normally aspirated version, the convertible Interceptor Rs and the Chieftain, are almost entirely rebuilt, starting with a full shell refurb, by JIA's workshop staff at its base in Banbury. Only retrimming and painting took place elsewhere, the former at longtime Mark Restorer region near Winchester. Powering the Interceptor R range. The supercharged bit comes thanks to the installation of the LSA engine, essentially a blown LS3, which makes 556 bhp, a full 127 bhp more than the R we drove, and 551 pounds-foot, dispatched via an upgraded prop shaft. This tune matches that of the LSA-powered Cadillac CTS-V. The 6-speed GM Auto gearbox seen here is now available in all our models. Our previous encounter was with a 4-speeder. The naturally aspirated V8 version produces a not-so-measly 429 bhp, while the convertible is available in both V8 and supercharged V8 versions. The R supercharged also demonstrates a host of refinements that JIA is introducing to its range. Changes include a bonded windscreen in place of the traditional rough and leaky rubber seals, electric front seats and column stalks sourced from a Jaguar XJS, larger, body-colored heated door mirrors in place of the fiddly little chrome jobs. An effective single wiper replaces the pair of flappy originals and there's upgraded aircon. Lifting the Interceptor's 70s interior. The split-prone black vinyl dash is replaced with a new custom-designed, two-tone leather layout, and 2 rows of illuminated aluminum toggle switches adorn the revised center console. The trim changes transform the cabin into a luxurious habitat of leather, Wilton carpet, chrome and aluminum. There's even quilted hide on the ceiling and in the sizable boot, while the new seats, which manage to be at once squashy and supportive, fit in well and provide an appropriately laid-back driving position. Only the worn, Jag-sourced column stalks, which were on the snagging list for makeover at the time, and seat controls detract from the opulent cabin. Unleashing the Interceptor R's V8. But what of the beast that lurks under the car's bespoke aluminum bonnet bulge? Well, there's no muscle car shimmy at startup, the R supercharged is rock-steady at idle. Amble through town and the blower's never-ending soundtrack morphs from space-age warble to under-bonnet gale, but the car neatly obeys the nicely weighted steering's inputs, and while the ride sometimes suffers niggles, it rarely gets worse than that. Unlike the R we tried, there's no bittiness from the throttle, either, just smooth transitions and nippy step-off. Brake into open road, though, and the LSA ups the tempo in a heartbeat. Floor the throttle for instant torque and the softly sprung Interceptor rears up like an angry brown bear before throwing itself down the road at a fantastic rate. By the time the box interrupts with a sub 6,000 revolutions per minute upshift, the engine sounds like a demonic machine gun and you're going much more quickly than any early 70s GT has the right to. Yet the firecracker engine never overwhelms its host, the steering is tuned for stability, roll is evident but stays manageable, and the car exhibits an affable floatiness that shames many modern equivalents. At 1,800 revolutions per minute at 70 miles per hour, there's nothing more than a gentle thrum from the exhaust. For the moment, there's no manual override for the gearbox, but you don't miss it. Kickdown comes on request, shifts are executed smoothly but smartly, and there's none of the mid-corner ratio hunting that blighted the 4-speed. The stoppers generally work well and are progressive, but pedal feel is limited, and significant levels of dive mean the nose doesn't feel as tied down as you'd like under heavy braking. It would be possible to improve braking confidence with the addition of ABS, but the cost of the type approval such a system would necessitate makes it unviable. The new nods to practicality work well. You can actually use the door mirrors now, the wiper clears the screen, the electric seat controls are handy and the aircon now does what it's designed for. There's less wind noise from the screen than before, but the Interceptor's chunky brightwork means there's still quite a commotion from drag, albeit awareness of it fades after half an hour or so. Traction control will be added shortly, but the 255mm wide rear pilot's fare pretty well without it, even off the line. There are plenty of reasons to be tempted by the Interceptor R supercharged. Unlike modern contemporaries, the Jensen avoids the millstone of being expected to deliver razor-sharp dynamics, leaving it to focus on traditional GT virtues. Sure, outright engagement is lacking, but the combination of pace, style and comfort means that fun certainly isn't. JIA sells a naturally aspirated Interceptor R with a 6-speed box for £149,500, add the upgraded dash, aircon and wiper kit and that becomes £155,500. While the shock factor of the R supercharged pace, and the ease with which it is incorporated into such an easygoing host, is impressive, the naturally aspirated car is plenty quick and brings a layer of refinement more in line with the Interceptor's character. In such spec, it is comfortably one of the finest modernized classics money can buy.